Hey, this is Andrew Brown, and in this follow along, we're going to take a look here at life cycle policies. That's where we can move an object from one storage class to another in an automated way. It's not AI, it's just whatever rules we set up there. As per usual, we're going to use the AWS examples repo. I already have it open. I'm going to go ahead and create myself a new folder in here called Lifecycle. Okay, so we'll say Lifecycle. And in here, I'm going to go ahead and create myself a readme.md. I'm almost certain that we're going to have to create a policy file. So I'm going to go in here and say lifecycle JSON. And in our readme, we're going to go ahead and create ourselves a new bucket. So we'll say AWS S3, make bucket, S3, // lifecycle fun, AB. And I'll put some numbers there so we don't have any conflicts. Go ahead, and it is not copying the way I wanted to copy here today. We'll go ahead and hit enter. And so now we have a bucket that we can work with. The next thing will be to create lifecycle policy configuration. So let's go ahead and make our way over to AWS S3 API. And I really wish it'd point to version 2. AWS, if you're out there, just get rid of version 1 so we don't have to look at it anymore. Nobody's using version 1. It's so tiring. I'm looking for life cycle in here. I imagine there's probably some kind of configuration in here for it. There it is. Excellent. We're going to go down to examples. We have an example. Excellent. And party on Wayne, party on... I'm making a reference to Wayne's World because they always say excellent. Unless that is Bill and Ted's Bodacious Adventures. I get them mixed up. No, it's Wayne's World. That's what I'm thinking about. Anyway, so we have some information here. I'm not necessarily thinking that this is the policy that I want, but we can set up rules. We can say whether the rule is enabled. We can have it apply to very specific stuff. So I wanted to apply for everything. So I'm going to just take out this prefix here. And I want to move something to IA after a few days. So we'll just say IA, move to IA. And we want this to transition after a certain amount of days. So we can say here days. And then I can say after 15 days, we can move it there. And then we can say standard IA. So that's something that we can do because maybe we assume that the first few days we're going to use it a lot and then after that we're not. We can even set it to less. We'll say 3 days. We're not going to be able to observe this because we'd have to wait multiple days. I don't want to do that. I don't think you want to do that either. But you want to make sure you know how to set up these lifecycle policies. And so here's a very simple one, right? So move to IA enabled after 3 days. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll type in clear. And I'm going to go and see if we can utilize this. So we'll go ahead and copy this. Before we do, we should probably put our bucket name in here. And I'll put paste, and then we'll see if we can apply this lifecycle rule. We'll hit enter, and there's a small mistake. We didn't get the whole line, so I'll try this again. I'll hit enter. It doesn't like something. We'll go up here and see what it's complaining about. I'll hit enter. What doesn't it like? Oh, you know what? I got to CD into the correct directory, so make sure I'm in my lifecycle directory here. And I'll just hit up and try this again. Still doesn't like it. Now what? It has an issue with the days. So if I go over here, I think it wants this to be an actual integer, so we'll change that out. It says it's malformed. It says XML, but it takes the JSON and it probably turns it into XML. Okay. So that's kind of interesting. And you can even see, like, I'm using the rule in JSON here because that's examples that were showed to me online. This is not, of course, the example that we're using exactly here, but we're doing something very similar. So why does it not like that? I don't know. Let's go back over to here and take a look. And this one's also using JSON as well. So clearly it uses JSON and not XML. There is a space after here. I'm not sure if that's messing it up, so we'll just try this again. Copy. Right click. Copy. It can't be because it actually brought in, it parsed the JSON, so it was technically working. So there's something here that it doesn't like. So did I spell standard? Stand ard IA. That looks correct to me. Transitions looks correct to me. Rules look correct to me. So this all looks okay. I don't see any issues here. Let's go take a look at some policies. So, I mean, this is the one here. Maybe we have to specify a prefix. So this one doesn't have a prefix in it, but let's go ahead and just, like, there's nothing other than that. We'll go ahead and try this. Let's take a look and see if that works. And then it says the transaction action must be greater than or equal 30 days. I assumed it was going to be 30 days. And that's fine. So we'll go ahead and hit enter. And so now it's applied. Let's go take a look at our bucket and see if it's applied. And we'll go into the first one here. And then I assume it's under management. And so we have our lifecycle rule here, right? And notice it's transitions to standard IA. We'll click into it. We can see after, when something's uploaded after 30 days, it will then move into here. There is no expiration set up there. We could also set that on our policy, but I think this pretty much shows what we need to do. It's very straightforward. I'm not even going to bother uploading an object because we're not going to wait here 30 days to find out. Let's go ahead and just clean up, okay? And before we do, let's just go take a look at what it looks like to create a new lifecycle rule. And you can see they have a lot more options here. And then you could just specify them here. So if you're not exactly sure what values you can provide here, you can fiddle with it before you go ahead and write your JSON policy. But, you know, hopefully that is easy enough to make sense of. We'll go ahead and remove this bucket. And we'll go ahead and hit enter. We're all cleaned up. We'll see you in the next one, okay? Ciao.